Hey guys, I hope everybody's doing well. So we are going to take a look and see what you need to know. And we're going to use the Urban Crow Oracles to get started. We're going to do 4 piles. So I'm going to give these a quick shuffle and then we're going to spread these out and I'll turn them all over once I get all the cards out. So pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. All right, what you need to know. So pile 1, y'all have number 47, survival. Okay. Pile 2, number 53, waterproof. Pile 3, number 32, nature. Okay. And pile 4, number 26, insight. Okay. So always remember you're in control of this reading. This is supposed to be helpful, not hurtful. So if anything starts to come across not making you feel so great, you always have the ability to click off of this video, come back to it at a later time. Keep an open mind. These could be messages for someone very close to you where Spirit's kind of inserting some advice for you to share. So always remember these are general readings as well. Not every single thing in the reading is going to fit to your story. So always keep all that stuff in mind. Timestamps for everything will be down below, and I will see you at your pile. Hey, pile 1. So if you chose number 47, survival, this is going to be your reading. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to read. This card is going to represent as far as what you need to know, more about that and about the situation of what we're talking about. So dead giveaways here on this card, of course, with survival. Obviously, this crow here is, kind of hiding to survive this fox that you see. 4 is a number of stability. 7 is about being in alignment for me. So also luck is something that just came to mind. Together with 11, that's justice. Okay, this says, the crow is trapped in the bush as the hungry fox patiently waits for his meal. When we are in survival mode, we are restricted. We, like the crow, cannot fly. This card calls your attention to how you are feeling about a situation. Are you hunkered down, waiting for the threat to be over? Or are you moving, doing your best to find a path out? When we are in survival mode, our possibilities are limited by creative mind solely focused on getting through a difficult situation. It's in that space that we are not thinking about future opportunities, as the decisions that we make are done so to simply release any immediate pain. Could be intimate pain. Because of this, we risk accepting a quick fix that limits our growth. Okay, so we're going to get some oracles to start. We're going to use the answer oracles. As I'm shuffling, I'll kind of talk about that a little bit. And then we'll get the tarot. So you may be in survival mode at this time. There may be something here that's going on that you feel like that you're stuck. And for some of you, you may be struggling with finding a way out of something. This could be emotional. This could be actual physical situation. But I feel like this is insinuating the lack of movement. Feeling stuck and being stuck are different. But you may not be able to see the way. So you're not, like the crows, just in survival mode, just trying to survive the present moment. But they're not thinking about how to get out of that situation or what the future could look like, They're just worried about that present moment and what they feel. Okay. Disappear. Now my voice is going to start going. Decline, die, wither, and be forgotten. Guard. Yeah. Defend, protect, and guarantee. Purity. Innocent. Holiness. Humanity. And virtue. and seed. Nurture great growth, potential, and possibilities. You have eternity at the bottom. Immortality, frozen, infinity. That word would not come out of my mouth. And curse. What do you need to know? Infinity. Why was I struggling with that? Some of you may be struggling with something being final. With this disappear card here. I think what you need to know is that something isn't. Just like the survival with the crow is something's not final here. There's still some sort of ability to purify yourself and to grow from this, or grow from something, or come out of something. Like, there's still potential here, or possibilities here. But you have to, like, with this purity that's here, you have to be able to either cleanse yourself here from something, have that judgment there, you know, be able to face judgment in some kind of way, look at the truth. I think that you've been in a defensive energy here. I think that you've been very guarded, trying to protect what you feel, like this feeling of being forgotten, or maybe there is actually physically something here that you have forgotten, or you feel like this is just like feeling like it's done and over with, you know, like there's no coming back from this. But I feel like you're just trying to protect yourself by saying that in a situation. And I think that there actually is a potential to get out of this, or a potential to grow. You just need to look for that. But in order to look for that, you have to be able to face it. You know, I'm trying to think of how, well, let's just use this. The crow. In order for the crow to to realize that there may be a potential another path for him to take. Yes, he may not be able to fly his way out of there, but there may be another potential path. But he's so frozen with fear. At this time, he's just, you know, trying to protect himself, trying to be still because he's safe. And it's like, you have to be able to look at something and say, there could be another possibility here. There could be another way to grow from this, or there could be another seed that we can plant here. You know, you're only cursed if you allow yourself to be. That's kind of what this is feeling like. You're only frozen if you allow yourself to be. It's so crazy it says frozen on that card, and that's what it kind of talks about there. All right, let's get the tarot. We're going to use the, what is the name of this? It is the, this is just the Wayspell Tarot, and it doesn't have like a certain name that it uses, I don't think. I think it's just the Wayspell Tarot. Okay. So, what do you need to know? I think really what you need to know here is that there's a possibility here, or opportunity, or a way out of something. You're not as stuck as what you think that you are, but you have to kind of wake up to that. You have to look for it. And I think you may be just kind of frozen with fear of needing to protect or guard yourself. Tell me about disappear. What is disappear? This may have to do with loyalty, being loyal to someone or loyal to a situation. Not everybody, but why is fear here? Or fear. Why is disappear here? What's disappear? Yeah, the Hanged Man in reverse. It's a very stuck energy. Not being able to see any other perspective. Pisces. Four of Cups in reverse. It's the same kind of thing. Needing to get out of this place to where you're afraid to take any kind of action or move in any direction because you feel like you need to just protect yourself here so much so. You need to become aware of this fact that there's this. Who are you really protecting here in this situation, you know? There's a lot of different messages that are coming through with that, so not all of those are going to resonate, of course. The Ace of Pentacles in the reverse here for Purify. So, some of y'all, there was like an opportunity for something that you didn't take, or you couldn't see it at the time, so you kind of lost that opportunity. For others of you, this is like what you need to know is that if you stay stuck in this energy, there actually is a chance that you could pass something up. Like, this is a message of saying, hey, wake up, wake up. You have a chance to fix this, or you have a chance to move in this direction, or hey, there's another opportunity here, but you need to pay attention to it. Get out of this place of where you're in this kind of like a more of a sulking kind of energy. I know that's kind of hard to say, but at some point it's like saying you have to get yourself up, just like that crow. If you want to really survive, you're going to have to look for a way out. And like, now's the time to do it. You need to be looking, because there's a chance that there's an opportunity that's around you of getting out of the situation, but you have to believe that it's possible. Just like the crow, he's going to sit there and just, starve, trying to protect himself, because he may not feel like it's possible even that there is another path to take, but there is one. Okay, so why is the seed here? A Chariot in reverse. You have to move. You have to move in a direction. For some of you, this might have to do with maybe you've relied on someone or something else. Maybe you've been in a codependent energy for a while. For some of you, this is maybe getting out of that, considering that I said that you're thinking about your loyalty, who you're loyal to. But with the Chariot in reverse, it's like saying, like that, wake up. Like I said before, get up, The Chariot is a huge representation of, you have the Emperor here in the Chariot, and it's about getting control of faith over fear. And you have these two here, these Sphinx normally, that are here, and it's like you need to get the reins and get control of your faith over the fear that you feel, so that you can get yourself out of the situation. It's all about moving yourself in a direction for your highest good. And Cancer is focused on the home. What's important for your stability and your safety and your security. But again, the Chariot in being in reverse say, hey, that's up to you. You're the one that has to get in the Chariot. You're the one that has to have faith in the situation that it's possible. That comes from you. You can't get that from anyone else. And if you don't feel like it's possible and you don't believe or have faith, then it won't be. You'll remain in this frozen position, this stuck energy. Why is the Hanged Man here? The Tower. So some of y'all may have went through a significant Tower moment, or you feel like you're about to. See, just like the crow, he's trying to avoid that tower of being eaten by the fox by just staying still where he is. This is such an energy of whose peace are you really protecting? Or even if this just has to do with you and no one else, it's your peace, Are you really protecting your peace by just sitting still here? Or are you just protecting the fact that it's just keeping that tower from falling? This could be something that's completely out of your control. You may be stuck in a place to where you're like, you can't see something any other way, or you feel like, you can't see something any other way. That tower's going to fall and it's out of your control. Scorpio energy. Tell me about the Four of Cups in the reverse. The Seven of Swords in reverse. Loyalty. For some of you, this has to do with not being loyal in some kind of way. And this isn't going to be everybody's message. And also, these roles can always be switched. I could be talking about someone else. But I like to keep this, what you need to know, focused on your energy. So take it, please, how it resonates. The Seven of Swords is like in reverse is when everything that you've been doing in the dark kind of comes out into the open. So if you've been kind of being strategic about something, or if you've been kind of going under the radar about something, or if you've been being a little bit deceptive, in just whatever way, shape, or form that is, this is like you trying to protect or guard that, not wanting to have something get out into the open, or someone to see something. And honestly, I feel like you've been very fixated and worried about this. This could even be focused on fear of that with someone else. You've been really, this could be like, I've been really afraid that, someone's doing something behind my back. That kind of feeling. And just kind of not being able to get over it. Just worrying and worrying about it. To me, the Four of Cups in reverse is kind of like when you, well, it's about awareness. Becoming aware of what the holdup is and that you're holding yourself back. But needing to see that you're not guarding yourself, you're actually holding yourself back. I think here is really important. But the Four of Cups in reverse can be when you have a hard time really with your emotions and your intuition. Like your intuition or your gut's telling you one thing, but then your emotions get involved, in it, and before you know it, you just feel like you're kind of stuck with reevaluating, you know. Tell me about, even if you are very much aware. This can also be like kind of keeping something from others, keeping something to yourself, guarding or protecting something so that others are not aware or have not been. Tell me about impurity from that. Would be like an opportunity to purify yourself in the situation, or an opportunity to free yourself even. Tell me about Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, the Star in reverse. So there's, I think, a fear here of knowing that if this is something that is exposed in some kind of way, whatever that is, or you don't get out of this, like I'm stuck and I can't do anything kind of else. There's a fear of losing an opportunity. If the truth is revealed, there's a fear of like losing an opportunity. Like, and for others of you, this is about, you just don't have a lot of faith here that something is possible. Like, can you really purify yourself from this? You know, can you really get yourself out of this? Can you really start over here? I think this is gonna, for some of you, may cause somewhat of humility. Not for everyone, but the Star is like basically like a goal or wish or desire, or, you know, something that you've, healing even, something that you really have held on to. And with purity there in the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, whatever it is, that has not come to fruition. It hasn't, the seed has not been planted right. And, you know, sometimes with whatever it is, there's a little bit of humility around that, you know. And that being exposed is something that could be terrifying or fearful. But I feel like your hands are tied in this situation. Or you feel like they are. That's what it is. That's where the fear is. You know, the Chariot in reverse is also showing that there's a lack of being able to control the situation or the direction that things are going in. Tell me about that. Clarify that Chariot in the reverse. Look at that. King of Swords. Use your head here. Some of you, this may have to do with needing to get guidance or help in the situation, but that in itself may involve somewhat of, you know, humility. Humility is not a bad thing. It's kind of like just being humbled, you know. It's just being humbled is not a bad thing. That's how we learn and grow from experiences, right? You know, you touch the stove and it burns you, and that's an accident. You're like, oh crap, you know, that's hot. You touch the stove again and it burns you. People are going to look at you and you're going to feel humiliated, like, oh, I did that twice. You know, it's that kind of a thing. And yes, I know what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you all what I'm talking about. This right here is from that exact same thing. But mine was a little different. I literally told my son when I was cooking dinner, he was frying chicken. I said, do not touch this. You need to back up. You know, it's right in his line of vision. It's like, you need to back up. This is very hot. It's grease. And this pan is very hot. Even the handle, if you touch it, it's going to burn you. He's like, okay. And he's sitting there talking to me. And sure enough, I reached over there and touched it and it burned me. And I was like, oh, shoot. You know, and he's like, you're not supposed to touch that. I'm like, thanks for the reminder. But a bit of humility, you know, but it was a reminder for me. Pay better attention to that. I was so upset, so worried about him. I wasn't thinking about myself. That could be this for some of you too. Like, you may be so worried about everyone else in the situation that you've kind of forgotten about yourself and what you need to do for yourself. King of Swords is Aquarius energy. And you have more control here than you think. And I think that that's really just what you need to know. You actually have a lot more control in this situation than you think you do. You just need to use your head here in this and realize that there are more possibilities if you're believing in yourself and if you have faith in yourself. And I feel like it's really important here to really worry about you at this time and not so much what everyone else is going to think or say or do, or being humiliated in any kind of way. I think that you need to focus on what you need to do for yourself. Because if this Emperor here in the Chariot, and we're going to call it the King of Swords here, if he was in that chariot and he was listening to everybody around him tell him which direction he needed to go, can you imagine like sitting there going, well, okay, see, Sally said I needed to go this direction and take this route. you know, and Bobby has told me I needed to go in this direction and do this route. And you're like, I don't know which one should I do? Well, especially if it's your experience and it's your life and it's your situation, you should go the route that you feel like is right for you. And for some of you, that might be getting a little bit, there's maybe a lot of static going on with that. You're needing to get your head back, like, in order and get control of the situation. And you can. You can. The Two of Pentacles. You have other options that are here. You have choices that you're not seeing. You have a Nine of Cups that's here. And the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. This may have to do with your stability or foundation. We did talk about that a little with that number 4. And getting yourself back in alignment with the 7 there, the Chariot. The Nine of Cups is about, with that Ten of Pentacles in reverse, some of you may have had your priorities a little off. More focused on the celebration of things, or more focused on like the surface of things, or something like that. I don't know what this is. It's something that was bringing you maybe perhaps some temporary happiness, but there's something here that may have gotten your focus and took you off of your priorities. This could be family here with the Ten of Pentacles. This could be your foundation, your security, financial security, long-term relationship, whatever you feel like you've deemed as something that's very valuable. Your priorities may have not been in the right place. And this is saying, get in that chariot, make a plan and do it, because there's a seed here that you could be planting. There's a choice here that you could make that would lead to lead you out of this, you know, lead you to a place for your highest good here. Tell me more about that, what that is. What is the purpose here? The Three of Swords in reverse is about healing and forgiveness. Some of you, this is about asking for forgiveness or forgiving yourself or another. The Eight of Pentacles is about working on it, working on something. Making progress, moving forward, paying attention to the details. The High Priestess is following your intuition and your inner knowing. So whatever this is, I feel like with the Tower in reverse here now, with that Three of Swords in reverse, this is something that's already occurred or happened. So at this point, all you can do is ask for forgiveness or forgive yourself for whatever, and make some progress, work on it, and listen to your intuition here. I think there are some things in the future that you're just unaware of, or this also stepping into a place to where, you know, mentally, you just do what you can in the moment. You do what you can in the present moment. Just like the crow. He should be doing what he can in that present moment to get out of that situation before the fox gets so hungry that it just starts digging into that. You know, that's what it's saying here. Now's the time, you know. But I feel like believing in the known, what is going to come, or how do I explain that? With that High Priestess, Pisces energy, by the way, and the way that he's looking at her too, you just have to work towards what it is that you know you want. Like, you have to put your head down and continue to do something, and to continue to do what you can in the moment and make progress. And the rest is left to the unknown, you know. All you have to do, your job is just to believe and have faith. That's your job. But you have to get control of that chariot. You have to prioritize what's important and what's not important here. What you're capable of and what you aren't. This is all about like this present moment and getting yourself out of this stuck feeling and realizing you have more control than what you think you do. You just have to wake up to it. And from there, you know, keep making progress and doing the best you can. Some of you, this might have to do with starting over, starting fresh with that purity there. Anything else I'm missing here that pile 1 needs to know? What's that? The Seven of Wands in reverse. Okay, we can talk about this. You having your guard up. Let your defenses down. Something I just heard in my head. Give me a card for that. So some of you, there's a call here to be vulnerable. Like, you're going to have to be vulnerable, which we talked about, that humility. Tell me more about the Seven of Wands in the reverse. The Emperor in reverse. There's your Emperor from the Chariot, Aries energy. Yeah, this may be something that's very difficult for you to do, letting your guard down or being vulnerable in some way. And this may be just being vulnerable to an understanding of the truth of something. Sometimes it's really hard for us to see the truth and recognize it as being that's the truth, because it is so painful to see. But there's another part of us that needs to understand, by being vulnerable and allowing yourself to really know and believe that that's the truth. There's a lot of power in that, and that's just how you get your power back. Now, for others of you, this has to do with you mistaking protection for, or guardedness for, control. Give me one more. The Queen of Swords. You may be like protecting yourself from someone else's wrath, for some of you. Not everybody, but that Queen of Swords, she can, especially here in the way she has her hands up, give me one more for that. The Ten of Cups. There may be something to do with someone else's expectations here. You're trying to guard what someone else has expected of you. And you don't want them to see something, because that will crush maybe your reputation with that person or others, or whatever the circumstance is. This could be family, this could be even a mother figure here that you're afraid of how this person may look at you. You have a Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. This could be the other way around, depending on your situation. Seven of Pentacles in reverse is, I think that you're worried about someone not being able to see any kind of believe in you, or see a long-term vision here, or trust you in the same way. There's this idea of someone that I feel like, honestly, if this is another person, I feel like what you have deemed as their high expectations may not actually be as high as what you think. I think there's a lot of your mind playing tricks on you with that. Tell me about that Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. Five of Swords in reverse. This can be about making amends, about like time and energy, where your time and energy has been spent, or how it's someone else's time and energy has been spent even. Yeah. Page of Cups in reverse at the bottom. And look at there's that Eight of Swords. There's a lot of feelings of not feeling like you have a leg to stand on here, Yeah. This is a feeling of just kind of giving up. It's like feeling like you don't have a wand in the fight, giving up before you even give something a try is something that's here. This is a feeling of letting something get you down. Like that Page of Cups in reverse, that Eight of Swords is, I think that there's a really big fear that you have of the way that the way you're being looked at here in the situation, for whatever the situation is. And I think it may make you feel immature or naive, or I said that before, like you're not as healed as what you've made yourself out to be. There's all these types of emotions that are here. For some of you, there's some kind of, this is a side note, okay? Some of you, there's some kind of a message or something that's here that's coming from like a young person, like a child, where something is exposed in some kind of way that puts someone in their head. Or this is a fear or something like that. I don't know where that came from, but that's something that's there. Okay. That was kind of a weird way to end that, but let's move on. Let's get some advice, okay? So I'm going to get some of these. Let's use the asking question cards too. So what question should Pile 1 be asking themselves at this time? What question? It says, How would I want to be encouraged right now? What would I want to hear? Yeah. So what are you telling yourself in this situation? What are you really telling yourself? If you had a very good friend that dearly cared and loved about you sitting next to you and you were saying those things out loud, what would that person say to you to comfort you, to support you, to help you to have faith and believe in yourself? Those are the types of things that you need to pay attention to. What would I want to be, how would I want to be encouraged around? What would I want to hear? And tell yourself those things. It's the only way that you can get out of the situation, you know. Mentally, we can have as much advice and everything else around us as possible. But mentally, it's up to us. It's up to us to straighten those things out, those thoughts and those, you know, the mind. Whew. The mind is a powerful, 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 powerful thing. It can make you believe anything is true. It creates the worlds around us. What world are you creating when it comes to your belief here? What advice do you have? Renew the heart, number 10. For some of you, this has to do with forgiveness. A relationship in your life needs renewal and attention. Reconnect with the one that you love to recall what first brought you together. You also have a sudden shift. So together you have 10 and 6, so 16, which is that tower and tarot. So this feels like a shift, a turnaround. Your current reality is shifting towards something very different from what you had anticipated. It will be for your highest good. The bottom of the deck says miracles. Number 36. Miracles are flowing into your life. Your angels are helping you resolve your challenges in ways that will surprise you. I really feel like that if you just believe that something is possible and take the initiative and get control of what you can control in the situation, or know that you can, there's possibility of that. And it may take a little humility. Step out into that vulnerability, because I really think that something significant can really come from this. For some of you, this is a comeback. For some of you, this is a forgiveness. For some of you, this is getting back on your feet in some way. But there is a shift that will occur. You just have to take the initiative. You're going to feel like it's a miracle. It's up to you guys. You have to take the initiative. I can sit here all day long and give you advice about this. I don't know why. I just pulled this on accident, but it says missing you and you are protected. Your absence is felt. They long for your embrace. Once again, for some of you, you need to know that. What advice do you have for Paulwyn? You have number 3 again. 3 could be relevant here. The 3rd. Archangel Michael is with you now. Even though you can't see it, I'm actively working on the situation and I am here helping you. That's what I was going to say. I can give you advice all day long. The angels can step in and help you. Your spirit guides, your guardian team, God, Jesus, whoever it is that you worship or you look towards, they can move things around for you all day long. But you have to take the initiative and you have to have faith and believe in yourself. Okay. All right, let's get some initials to close. I'm tired today, guys. I took me and my oldest, we had a real fun day yesterday. Went out of town. We were going to look for him a car. We didn't have any luck at all. But we got to eat some good sushi and hang out. And went to the mall, did some shopping. But I'm exhausted. And he is too. We both came home. It was like 7:30. We both just went to bed. We don't get out of the house very much. So when we do get out of the house, it's so exhausting, We walked a lot too, of course. Let your dreams be your wings. Okay, you have the feet are white. I've never noticed this before, but this purity, that clearness, and the happy, happy feet. Happy feet could be important, but that whole journey of that movie, Happy Feet, with the penguin could be important. That's what he is. He's believing in himself. Anyway, but the white, that purity is like walking in you're starting over. And this belief that you can be happy again, or that it can be a happy experience, Okay, smile to the world. It's funny because you have that. Okay, we have Elmer, W, a Z, an X, an A, an L. U, X, and W. A K. That's it. Okay, So I'm going to hold this up so y'all can see it. I definitely hope this helps. Hope it made sense. Hope it resonated. And thank y'all so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Also, I'm open to personal readings right now. I have 2 more to finish for the week. And then I'm open and clear. So unless somebody's already sent me an email. But information for that's down below. I'm currently doing a special on the you and thems. So all of that information as well is down below. Just give me an email. Please, please don't send me. I had some people just send me money with the question on PayPal. I really need for you to send me an email so that I can have all the information that I need. And it's just easier for me to look at it and go to it on that than it is, you know, on the PayPal. So, yeah. And make sure also that you're looking to see what I do offer, because I have people also send me money and a question with something that I know it's not even on my list. So, just make sure that you're looking in through and going through all that, okay? But thank you so much, guys. I so much appreciate y'all. Really good luck to you on this. And I hope. Hey, pile 2. So if you chose number 53, waterproof. So I have to say, my voice probably sounds a whole lot better in y'all's reading than it did in the other pile in the intro, because my mic was messed up. So you are getting the better part of this sound here. Okay, so waterproof, number 53. So we're going to read from the book. We're talking about what you need to know. So this could be absolutely anything. It's just whatever you need to know that's for your highest good, that will help you to, in the situation you're in or moving forward in whatever way. So with this waterproof, he's very confident there, isn't he? He's like, this water's not going to hurt me. I don't mind staying here. 5 is a number of change, though. 3 would be about growth. 8 is about taking action here. So, okay, we're going to read this small portion of the book. It says, crow feathers have a greasy protective coating that prevents water from getting through to the skin. You too have the ability to create a waterproof exterior. When we are waterproof, we are protected from others' draining emotions that can weigh us down. Being waterproof allows you to experience a storm without letting it hold you back. When we are waterproof, the words, actions, and emotions of those around us do not impact our perception of who we are or our self-worth. Casual insults, snarky comments, and emotional vampires don't bother someone who is waterproof. Being dragged into someone else's drama can take an emotional toll and leave you feeling waterlogged. But when you're waterproof, you can be a good listener and a shoulder to cry on without absorbing their emotions, leaving you free to support others in need. Waterproof asks you to create a barrier between the feelings of others and yourself when inner strength is needed. Okay, so interesting that this is what this talks about, because right before I started y'all's reading, I was sitting here thinking about a friend of mine and how I cannot put myself or insert myself into their situation or their circumstances or their drama, you know, and how I still want to be able to support that person. So I was sitting here in my head thinking, how can I approach that kind of conversation, or how can I approach the situation to where I can still be that supportive friend and be there, because I do love and care about this person. And I know who they are, you know, and I know what they mean. And I would love to be able to still support them. But how can I do that without getting myself involved into their stuff, you know? And boundaries, that's one of them. But so, what do you need to know? So this is what this reading is going to be about. Hope this helps me. Hope it helps y'all. Okay. It's funny, I was thinking about that, and that's what came out. Probably why that came out is because I was thinking about it, but I did also sit here in meditation and put my sage on too, so oh, look at that's not supposed to be there. Curiosity, imagination, try, and desire. You know, we're going to leave that out. I'm just going to put it over here. Okay. Tell me about pile 2. Tell me about pile 2 and what they need to know. What do they need to know? Threat. There's a reason you need to be waterproof here, okay? Fraud, natural enemy, and deadly threat. You may be curious about something here that you may need to stay away from. Limit. Boundary. Speeding and explosion. Anniversary. Birthday, holiday, important day. For some of you, this may have to do with some kind of a significant date or time. Event, even. Celebration. Exploration. Creation. Experimentation. Universe, and underground. Treatment is at the bottom. Okay, so you know what I'm feeling? I'm feeling like you may actually have hold on just a second. I'm going to focus in on this real quick. Make sure I get this right. I don't know why I stopped myself. I feel like this is important though. So this reading may be a little bit delicate for some of you. Always remember you're in control of the reading, okay? I get a kick out of some comments that I see on my channel and others about the reading sometimes, and I'm like, you're literally watching a YouTube video. You literally have the ability to just click off of it, you know, anytime you want. So I would utilize that control, and please do that if it's a reading that you feel like is hurting you in any kind of way. These are meant to be helpful. So, okay. Treatment. It says healing, comfort, security, or surgery and repair. But security is important because I feel like there may be something to do with someone that's either trying to fix the situation or trying to fix something going on in their life. Okay? Because we talked about waterproof. Curiosity is, I feel like that this is something that you've been really curious about, perhaps. Maybe you've been kind of, you've seen certain things or heard certain things, like all these vines. My mother used to tell me all the time when I was a teenager. I would say, how do you know that? And she's like, I heard it through the grapevine. I hated her saying that, but we literally live in a very, very small town. And everyone knows everyone, so there's no telling, you know. But you may have been in a place to where you've been kind of desiring information or wondering because of certain things you've heard or seen or whatever the circumstance. This could also be somebody that's kind of curious around you, but I feel like this has more to do with, this is a situation that really doesn't have anything to do with you. Someone may be trying to make it your problem, if that makes sense. You have fraud here. So I do feel like this is someone with the snake energy that you may not trust. This could be someone that maybe was fraudulent in some kind of way. This could be this person may be feeling threatened in their situation or feeling like, something's threatening their situation in some sort of way. Like, I feel like could be someone here that is somehow or another feeling hurt or threatened or like a place of needing treatment, needing help. Okay. Limit is important. This is that waterproof energy. This is about you setting boundaries. This could speed out of control, I feel like, very fast. In this explosion, the fire, you could get hurt in the crossfires of this. And this is why you're needing to know this reading. With anniversary being here and exploration, I do feel like that with examination here, there's a certain date or time or important day or something that's here that perhaps is really important around this examination. Like, to me, this feels like a deadline of some sorts. Exploration could also be like needing to explore other avenues or areas. Okay, so this is where we need to get the tarot, because this is starting to get into the like sounds more specific kind of stuff. Okay, so we're going to use the Daydreaming Tarot to get started. Woo, man, I bent down to get this tarot deck, and I am sore. I am so sore. Back of my legs just had a big stretch. Man, I don't know what I did. I did a workout. That's what I did. Different type of workout. So, had to have been it. I don't get sore very often anymore because I've noticed I walk a lot every day. Try to every day. Put a few miles in. And then I do a workout every day. So I don't really get that sore anymore, but I am now. It has to be something I haven't normally done. Okay. I don't know what that whole story and why I was just rambling on about that. And I don't believe in coincidences. That may have to do something with this reading. This may be something that you've done repetitively that hasn't affected you in some kind of way, but for some reason this time it will. This time it will. Okay. So that's the warning here. And I do feel like this is coming across as more of a warning. That's why I gave that little spiel about being in control of the reading. This is the Four of Swords in reverse. So curiosity. This could be something that you're overthinking too. This could be something... It's a little bit different for everybody, but I feel like that there's just a lot going on in your head about the situation and what you don't know about certain things. Like you've overthought it to where you may be kind of using your imagination somewhat, you know. The Four of Swords is like when you rest, but you rest for a little too long and you get in your own head. Last threat here. There's another four. Fours are about stability and foundation. Fourth house is Cancer energy. But 444 is a number of protection, so that may be something you've been seeing lately. Obviously, the Four of Wands in reverse is something that just doesn't sit right with you. And this could be an event, right? Because this is about an event, and then you have anniversary here. So some kind of get-together event or something like that. This may be an invitation or something that you're going to or can go to, that there's someone like threatening that, or you feel as if you could be harming yourself by going to the situation. So you're going to have to take this how it resonates. Tell me about the limit. Once I get all the cards out, it will fit. Let's just do that. Let's just do that because this feels... Honestly, it feels a little bit intense. The World in reverse, as I say that. Anniversary. The Sun in reverse. Some Leo. Exploration. The Fool in reverse. Aries. Aquarius. See how they have their back turned and everybody else has their eyes closed. Tell me about the Four of Swords, please. That Hanged Man. Don't overthink this. Go with your instinct here. And it may be harder than what you want it to be. This may be something that's difficult for you to do. Pisces, Four of Wands in the reverse. So this could be something that's threatening your home or home environment. Peace, your peace, threatening your peace. Strength in reverse. Don't be, oh, it's so funny, the differences in these readings, but don't open yourself up to this, okay? Some of you, this has to do with letting a snake in your home. Not like a physically like, you know, someone that's deceptive or you don't trust. Strength in reverse is your weaknesses. So for some of you, either this may be already something that's happened, For others of you, this is not allowing this to happen. Don't overthink it. Tell me about, they're going to try. Tell me about the world in reverse. This is heading in a weird direction. You have the moon here, Pisces again. Leo's there again. Leo and Pisces really prominent here, which is about having courage over the things that you can't see, but listening to your intuition. Now you have the world and the moon, these planets. You have to have the moon to have the world. The world needs the moon, and the moon needs the world. Be careful of someone kind of convincing you of this, okay? There may be somebody that's trying to create some kind of a codependency here as well, so be careful of that. The moon is the things that you can't see. The world is about unfinished business, a lack of closure, or maybe something not going exactly how you anticipated. This could be someone that's telling you these things. This would look in the way of, I wanted to try to come to you here and get your perspective or point of view about a situation, but I was really overthinking this. I'm not at peace here. I'm running out of time. I may lose something here that's valuable. Something is threatening my home or my peace or my environment. And I'm running out of time. This sounds like somebody that would say, you know, I didn't really want to come to you. Or I didn't think that, give me one for that hanged man. This is like I had no other choice. That's the Eight of Pentacles. This is somebody that's wanting to work something out here because they don't feel like they have any other choice. This is someone that hasn't wanted to come to you, though. Why? They were overthinking this. The Tower. The Tower. They were trying, this is somebody that was trying to fix something on their own, but fix a situation on their own. The Tower moment is something chaotic. This could be something that could happen, and this person's trying to fix this on their own in some kind of way. They overthought this a lot. This is someone that did not want to come to you, but they're stuck. This is someone that's stuck. This could be threatening their peace, their home. By doing so, it will threaten yours. Keep that in mind. But this is someone I feel like that's running out of time. This is someone. Tell me about this person. You have a Two of Wands here. So this is someone that's in the process of going down a new path, planning something, making plans for something. These cards are coming out weird. We have an Empress here in reverse. That's a Taurus and Libra. This is someone that this is that codependency that I talked about, okay? Tell me more. You have a Knight of Wands, guys, and the Three of Wands in the reverse. You are already expecting this. This is something that you were expecting. Okay? You were expecting this. This is someone that's trying to make a decision to... This is someone that's coming in very hot and heavy, too. Like, I don't mean what you're thinking. Dirty-minded people. I mean, I guess it could be, but anyway. This is someone that's just very, like, I don't know if time is important here. Like, this person may be running out of time, or, I don't know, time is relevant. But the Knight of Wands is, like, really needing to do something. Really needing to do something. It's a very, it's a high energy. That Three of Wands in reverse is basically when, I mean, this is somebody you could have turned your back on, or this could be somebody that is afraid of that. But I think you were anticipating this, to be honest. Okay. I also feel like that This is someone that you're needing to have boundaries with. You do have some sort of unfinished business here, though. The Moon. I think it's just whatever you don't know may come to the surface pertaining to a particular day. Tell me about that. Why is that Sun here in reverse? Ooh, Two of Cups in reverse. This could be the day that you split up from someone, you broke up, the day you stopped trusting this person. This could be something important that happened that was hidden in some way. Why is the Fool here in reverse with the exploration? The High Priestess in reverse. There's a lot of secret energy here. This is something that's going to come out into the open. I think there's somebody here that created perhaps some sort of issue or explored something else. The Fool is when in reverse when you're talking about another person in this situation. Two things here. This is like when someone does something foolish that's hidden in some way, that's out in the open. You know, what's being revealed is something foolish that someone did. There may be more than just one thing. The Fool in reverse for you, I feel like in this situation with that High Priestess is you're being shown who this person is, or that this is this person's own kind of downfall in some way, and you're not needing to attach yourself to it. Like you're not the treatment. Father's here, so that could be irrelevant for somebody, but this is a teaching lesson. To me, this is like the Father, the God, the source, you know. I think this is a teaching moment for this person, and they're looking for treatment. They're looking for guidance. They're looking for someone to kind of take some kind of a burden, I feel. They're going through their own lesson or experience, though. And you can comfort, but you're not there to fix. And there is something here that may be revealed to you. It could be around a particular day that's important. It could be when a disconnect maybe took place or a disappointment around that. Tell me more about that. What is that about? That's the Four of Cups in the reverse. This is awareness. Wait, tell me more. It's the Lovers in reverse. Gemini energy. Give me one more about that. It's the Two of Pentacles. There may have been someone here that had another choice. I don't like this energy. It's making me feel sad. This could just simply be someone was not prioritizing. Yeah, and the important day here, I feel like that's where the sadness is coming from. There may be a particular day or something that was important that someone did not prioritize in some way that could have caused the separation or breakup. Okay, I don't want to stay fixated on that forever. Tell me more about this threat, though. I feel like this is a different issue. Same person, different issue, okay? Tell me more about this threat. Thank you. Page of Pentacles in the reverse. This is not learning your lesson. This could be an experience that you've already kind of went through this pattern. You've learned some things here, but this is like testing you to see if it's stuck, you know, if you're going to do something differently, if you're going to change the pattern. Tell me about the Moon with limit. Limited information, something I just heard in my head. You may feel like this person only gives you so much information, or you only have the truth of so much of the story. It's like you're only hearing one side of things or something like that. Nine of Wands in the reverse is giving up on something. I feel like this has to do with you just no longer being a participant in the situation. Yeah, the Hermit, you've learned a lesson here. This is not your battle. This is not your battle. That's the lesson that you've learned. Tell me about treatment. The King of Swords. You have a King of Swords type of energy. This is someone that's coming in a way where they're being strong and logical, and they're strategic, though. Aquarius. Yeah, Six of Pentacles in the reverse, but they're wanting something from you. This is someone that is being strategic here. There's something that they're wanting here from you. Or they're wanting to take away from your energy, because that waterproof that we talked about that, not allowing others to take away from your energy, energy vampire, or someone physically, with this being a pentacle, like they physically want something here from you. They're really smart the way they're coming in. They're coming in an energy of wanting to heal and repair. Death, Scorpio. Some sort of ending. They have a motive. Their motive has something to do with the Tower. That's what's kind of hidden here. What is the Tower? The King of Pentacles. This could be an authority type figure. This could be that father figure. This could be what we talked about before. Someone stepping in some way. Capricorn energy. What is that about? The King of Cups. Scorpio energy. Tell me more about what is that Tower? The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. This is when someone's kind of wanting a second chance to kind of work on something. But something happened here with this person, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, that caused them to perhaps maybe wake up or look at things differently. I still want you to understand, though, and I think you're already well aware, that this is somebody that they have a hidden agenda or something. What is it? What can you tell me what it is? That flipped, but it didn't show itself. The Empress in reverse that was here before. This person is wanting to take from you in some way. This is this is purposeful, though, I feel like, because you have learned a lesson here. I don't think you're fighting this person's battles. I think you're putting some boundaries up when it comes to that. But you're going to get something out of this. I do feel like this person may even get something out of this. But the thing is that they do have a side agenda, okay? And it has to do with Empress in reverse. This is someone that I feel like is a taker here. You have the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. This is someone that wants to take from you in some kind of way, because the Death is here. So this is someone that's wanting to change the situation. With the Empress in reverse is that codependent energy. This is someone that could rely on you, or they're dependent on you, even if that's just emotionally in some way. That's the Seven of Cups in reverse. They may not have any other choice. What do they actually want from you, though? The Nine of Cups in the reverse. They're just not happy at this time. You're someone that makes them happy, or it's a selfish energy right there. Chariot in reverse, Cancer energy. Yeah, this is a codependency. So basically you have somebody here that's dependent on you in some way, and you've been experiencing a cycle here with this person. I do feel like there's more to it than that because of all of this right here. There's something to do with the disappointment with the separation, breakup, loss of trust. pertaining to a relationship and priorities or choices around that. Gemini energy. Something's happened here with this person. There was some kind of chaos or destruction. Something didn't go as planned. I think this person may have had some sort of hidden agenda behind this in some kind of way. I also feel like if this is a relationship type thing, I think this person got more emotionally involved than they wanted. They planned on having like emotional support and plus that and reliability here with someone. That's a codependent kind of feeling. This is what they were planning on, but this did not work out in the way that they figured it would or thought it would. Instead, that tower happened. That tower fell. I feel like that this is a lesson for you to protect your own energy. And in order to do so, you have to have some boundaries. Yeah, because you have a Knight of Wands here, guys, that's coming in. Tell me more about that. These cards are just flying out. Now you have a Page of Wands. So you're going to get some kind of message. Made me want to look at my phone. I don't know why. You're going to get some kind of message here from this person. This is something they're coming in very quickly. You have the Star here wanting to heal the situation. That's the Eight of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, this is somebody that's trying to heal or change the situation very quickly. Tell me about the Eight of Wands in reverse. The Queen of Swords. You may be kind of frustrated even with this. Like it just seems off or odd that this person is coming into you in the way that they are all of a sudden. Like their energy feels panicky or paranoid, or there's something going on with this person. I think they're under some kind of timeline. Something may be threatening their own stability in some way. Aquarius energies and Libra. Five of Wands in the reverse. So this is definitely somebody that's coming in wanting to heal. Page of Wands. Queen of Cups. You may be dealing with this person for a long time. This could be like a divine counterpart even for some of you. Page of Cups, Queen of Cups. You're going to get a message from this person. It has to do with, it's an emotional message about being curious. This could be somebody that's curious how you're doing. You know, acting like this is a concern, like acting like they're concerned. Cancer energy. Yeah, and the Ten of Swords. Something's happened here with this person. It's what's influencing them. That Ten of Swords. Injustice. Okay. Devil's in reverse at the bottom. There's my clarifier. Capricorn, Libra. This person is going through some kind of a karmic event. Okay. The wheel was not in this person's favor. Favor because of something that has happened. Something that occurred pertaining to the devilish energy. Now that you got the King of Wands. This is a lot of fire here, guys, which is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. That Three of Wands in reverse again. There's something here that didn't work out for this person. Maybe this is the Nine of Pentacles, so which is about independence and security, which I already said. Something didn't work out for this person. Three of Wands in the reverse. This is why they're headed in your direction. This isn't like them waiting for something to happen. This is them taking action. Because something's taking too long and the time is starting to run out or be limited. They're coming in very fast and the devil's in reverse trying to fix the situation. There's some kind of karma that's played out here with this person. I do feel like this brings you justice. I think this is someone that's coming in trying to fix this Ten of Swords. So this could be somebody that was, you know, betrayed you in some kind of way or something to that significance. If they haven't done it to you directly, then this is someone that's done something to someone else at some point or something like that, and you're starting to understand that. And this person's wanting your sympathy, you know. I want to know what's going to happen to y'all. I feel like that you are standing your ground here, though. I feel like that, I actually feel like I need a different, yeah, let's use this deck. I don't feel like you're giving in to this person. I don't feel like you're going to take on their battle. You know, it's just like the waterproof. I think you're waterproofing this person. I don't think you're taking on their energy. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. This deck does not lie, I tell you. Queen of Cups, Cancer energy, and the Seven of Swords. So you're not taking this on. You're allowing this problem to take responsibility, this person to take responsibility for their own problem. You may be sympathetic or you may be a support, but I don't think you're giving in to this. Tell me about what's going to happen here for pile 2. Oh, the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. Tell me more about that. The Ace of Swords. So there's a truth, clarity, understanding that's going to be exposed or expressed. A breakthrough that's going to happen here when it comes to the value in a situation, a foundation, security, something to do with family, long-term, something. There's that Knight of Wands in the reverse. This person's in a very scattered energy. I also feel, though, that I think you're putting your sword up here to this person in this pattern or behavior. There's your King of Wands. This is someone that's needing to take action or get in control because something pertaining to their financial security or their family or their foundation. Ace of Cups in reverse. There's a truth here around, tell me one more for that. A lost opportunity. Queen of Wands, look at that. In the reverse. There hasn't been a Queen of Wands here yet. There's a truth around why a relationship didn't come together, work, or opportunity wasn't there. There may have been even the truth around, you know, someone else in a situation or opportunity that you're unaware of. You may get some information here about. Give me one more. Thanks. 2 more, actually. Strength and the Knight of Swords. I'm really, to be honest with you, I'm scratching my head about this part. I don't know why. Patience and the Knight of Swords. Honestly feel like that this may be somebody that kind of ran out of patience and was quick to hold on just a second, guys. A Knight of Swords with the strength is such a weird combination. There's just a strong desire to take kind of action, or this person, you're getting this understanding here. There's this like strong emphasis on taking action here. The Empress. It's like getting information about someone maybe no longer being interested. This could be you, you know, the truth here. This is what's going to happen. It makes sense. I think you're this Empress energy here, right? And I think that you're going to have a lot of patience with this person. I do feel like they're going to come across as very, like this is a significant talker. This is someone that can talk their way out of anything. With that Knight of Swords being there. So they're going to take action and express some kind of truth here to you. The strength here is in the Empress. The person in the strength is actually the Empress. So there's this needing to stay like calm and But I also feel like this person feels like maybe they have a way of taming you, and I know that sounds bad, but there's this feeling here of not being interested in the truth or reality here of this. And the Knight of Wands in reverse, I feel like this may be somebody that they may get a little bit, the Moon in reverse. The way this person responds is going to kind of clarify some things here for you, okay? I also feel like it may be difficult and somewhat hurtful. So keep all that in mind. I do feel like there's a defensive energy here. I don't feel like this person is getting from you what they want or hearing what you want. Whatever you say or do, this is the opposite from what this person was hoping from this. And so I think that you're going to get a little bit of not the best. The Knight of Wands in reverse can be like somebody that just acts out of or reacts out of something instead of, looking at it logically or calm. With the Moon in reverse, it can be like seeing someone's true emotions or true self being exposed in some kind of way. I think you're facing a fear of this person never returning. It's like if you've had an abandonment wound attached to this person in some way, I think that you're facing that fear of being abandoned here. That's why you're able to put up boundaries. Tell me about the Nine of Wands in the reverse, the Three of Swords in the reverse. It's weird because I feel like this person may be looking at this as like you're giving up on forgiveness, or that you're giving up on reconciliation, or this could be them. Okay. I think it's funny because I feel like this person comes in as a King of Wands, but they leave as a Knight of Wands in reverse. Because they don't get the information that they don't get what they're wanting here from you. What is the Moon? Pisces is there. The Hanged Man in reverse. Yeah. You get to see a different way to this person because they're not getting what they want. You have the Six of Cups. That's reconciliation. The Knight of Wands in reverse is no longer taking on someone else's battle, like I said before. But it's also about giving up. You may have had a very long standing relationship with this person, known this person for a very long time. This is someone that's going to react hastily, and it's going to be kind of maybe even surprising because they're really not getting what they want from this situation with you. The Page of Wands in reverse. It's funny, you see the Knight and the Page here upright with the way that we saw what's going to happen. But here it's reversed, and it's because of that Nine of Wands in reverse. Yeah, the Four of Cups. This person, see, this is what I was talking about. This is sulking energy. This person goes into this feeling of feeling sorry for themselves here because you're not giving them what they want. I think this person feels as if they just stand up and do something, even if they have a hidden agenda here, that you should just forgive them or do what they want or whatever. And I think that you don't. Maybe they have that impression because that's what you've always done, but I think that you don't. And I feel like their reaction is big. And honestly, I feel like you kind of are able to move on or forgive the situation completely because of it, because of how they react. They may even actually say some things about the past that aren't the best, but they're reacting because they're not getting what it is that they want. You have the Nine of Cups in reverse and the Three of Cups. Maybe eventually, yeah, the Eight of Cups. Honestly, this person may even start going in a completely different direction and start tapping into or diving into other relationships that are like temporary fulfillment, people that they're around that they kind of attach themselves to so they can get that codependent like relationship built up. But I feel like it's all just like a temporary thing. It doesn't last. Eventually, you may even block this person for some of you. I feel like this person may be forced at some point also to be honest with themselves. If you're not blocking them, you're definitely limiting your communication. I think eventually they're going to get to a place where they're so like disappointed, but they're disappointed in themselves. But I think this is going to take some time, a while, to be honest. But I think eventually they're going to want to commit to doing something differently. Yeah, because they don't want to lose an opportunity in the future and get left out in the cold. But this person, their first, the initial reaction is to be mad and be destructive, to be honest. It's like temporary fulfillment. This is like, you know, going out a lot or diving into things that you know aren't good for you. You know, overindulging in certain things. That's the Nine of Cups in reverse. At some point or another, this person's gonna have to walk away from this. But at that point, you may block this person. I don't know. Okay, let's get some advice. Y'all had a long reading. I did feel like I kind of repeated myself some in this reading, which most of the time I do. But I also got information about what you need to know about this person in this situation. And I also got what's going to happen here with it. So y'all had a fairly large spread. What advice do you have? Number 41. Your loved ones are safe. This is something that you've been worried about. Here you go. Let go of the fear and worry for your loved ones. I'm looking after them. Okay, so if you've been worried about that, there's a clarifier there for you. Okay, we're going to get one of these, and then we'll get an empowering question to leave you with. Yeah, for some of you, this may be a spouse. You may have been married to someone here, or you're just in a long-term relationship. Compromise is needed. It says, number 73, in order to have a positive outcome for this situation, it's necessary to compromise, create a win-win resolution. I feel like that it's up to you to kind of put that initiative out there of what you're able to give and what you're not. Like you need to be able to vocalize what your boundaries are in this situation. You can still love this person. You can still care about this person. Just like I talked about my friend in the beginning, you know, I still love and care about her. I want everything that's like the best for that person, but I do have to limit myself. Just so you know, Megan, if you're listening to this, it's not you. I don't know why I felt the need to say that, but just in case, if you're listening to this, Megan, it's not you, I promise. I have people that are in my everyday life now that know what I do, and they listen to my readings, so I had to throw that out there. She will worry. It's not her. Someone else. And, you know, I have to figure out how to like limit myself around that where I can still show them love and appreciation. But you have to also understand, and like in your situation here, this is someone that may not understand that. There's a youthful energy here too with the page. So this may be somebody that doesn't have the life experience or just doesn't understand that why you have these particular boundaries, and they may react to that, like take it very personal, and they may should, I don't know. It's different for everybody's situation, but all you can do is compromise by putting what you can and what you will and won't allow basically out there. Okay. Question card. And then we'll get some initials. And then I have to finish this reading because I have got to clean my house while my little ones aren't home. I love it when they come home and the house is clean and they go to their rooms and they're like, oh, it's so clean. Well, actually, my middle child says nothing. And I'm like, do you not notice that your room is spotless? I worked so hard on it. And he's like, oh, yeah, it looks good. Thanks. He's so funny. What kinds of feelings am I feeling right now? What kinds of metaphors can I find to describe my feelings? Okay. What are my most important values? How are they reflected in my life and in my daily decisions? Okay, so again, your values, your morals, make sure that you're sticking to those. Oh, so important. You've already learned some stuff here. You've learned this lesson. It's time for you to implement it. Let's get some initials or some charms. Okay. All right. And just so all of y'all know, yes, my kids clean their rooms on their own. That's one of their chores. But when they're gone, I get to do like a real deep cleaning. And it's therapeutic for me, so we are what we believe we are. Yep. I am creating the life of my dreams. Yeah, this fits in line with the values and morals. You know, it's funny, like we want certain things and we like, you know, we're in this place to where we're dreaming about all this stuff. But really, like, it's up to us what we allow. It's very straightforward. It's up to us what we allow. And sometimes when you say, no, I've had enough, and you say, I'm not going to allow this anymore, you can't control how the other person's going to react to that. You can't control if they're going to understand it. And you can't sit there and keep trying to over-explain yourself either. It's just wearing yourself down. I used to find myself doing that with somebody, and like I felt like I needed to explain why I had to say no. Or why I didn't want something, well, didn't want to allow something. And by the time I like over-explained it and had that conversation, within like a certain amount of time at the end of it, I would get just so exhausted that I didn't even want to fight about it anymore. And I would just let it go. And I think, honestly, they knew that was what was going to happen. And so they kind of just change the situation, change the subject or whatever. You ever been in a conversation with somebody and you're approaching a situation or something and you get into disagreement, but then you get off into something like random and then you start talking about that and you forget what the focus was to begin with? Well, that's somebody may be trying to manipulate you. So be careful, but okay. Not wanting to deal with it. Eat or be eated. Yep. You have the lemon. So this is like a situation that's kind of bittersweet because you're protecting yourself, but you may be hurting someone else in the process, but like it's kind of like enough is enough. We have D, G, B, H, and J. It's also like really good to ask yourself, would this person do this for me? If the whole scenario situation was shifted and changed and I was them, would they be doing the same thing for me as I'm doing for them? And sometimes that can give you your answer very quickly. Okay, I'm gonna leave y'all here. Thank you so much. I hope this helps whoever needed to hear this. This was quite a long message, so thanks for sticking around for it. I really appreciate you guys, and I appreciate all the love and support. And thank you so much, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye. Hey, Pile 3. So if you chose number 32 with nature, this is going to be your reading. So what do you need to know? So some of y'all may be in a place to where you have a lot of opportunities here around you with all these dandelions. A lot of different choices or options around you, and you're trying to decide what's the best direction to take. This may be something that is about expansion or growth or learning or trying to get all your ducks in a row kind of feeling, you know, doing what you need to do best for yourself. And I feel like you're trying to put in some planning, but you just kind of don't know what to choose. I feel like this is something that's going to be very significant, something that's going to cause maybe a lot of changes for you. Okay. So I feel like you're trying to figure out how to get your feet on the ground and have a plan. There's a need to ground, with that nature energy. It is our connection to nature that fills our spirit and reunites us with the divine energy. Living in a city full of concrete buildings, it can feel though Mother Nature resides so far away. But she's here in the grass that sprouts up in the cracks of the sidewalk, in the overgrown empty lots, in the birds that mingle with us in the park. All we need to do is look, and we'll find that connection. Nature asks that we see the evidence of divine energy that is all around you, regardless of the landscapes. When nature appears, it may also indicate that you're long overdue for some outside time. Take this cue to go for a walk, head out to the park, or go to the beach. New ideas and inspiration will come through connecting with nature. Okay, so there's a little bit of advice there at the end of maybe perhaps if you're having this hard time with your thoughts or with figuring out what to do in a situation, reconnecting with nature, that grounding energy, desperately need to ground, so that you can connect with that part of you that calls for that security or that sense of safety. So grounding yourself can also ground your thoughts, kind of clear your head. So that's some advice in the part of that. Okay, so we're going to use the answer oracles to get started, and then we're going to go right into the tarot. So what do you need to know? What do you need to know? What do you need to know? There's this heavy energy here of trying to figure out what you want. Something about that. And why. And what's important. What is pile 3? Sorry. It says empty. Clean, purify, empty, and practice. Some of y'all may have resonated with pile 2 though. Tell me about follow. Okay? Empty and follow. Some of y'all, it's like kind of emptying or purifying yourself from what you know or you thought you knew. Practice, like going a little bit easy on yourself as well. Being ready for anything is something that's here. Some of you may be in some kind of storm at this time, is what I want to say. You may feel like you're in some kind of situation or storm at this time. This is what you need to know as far as a deeper understanding in that whatever's going on, it's cleansing away what is not serving you. And so sometimes when we find ourselves in uncomfortable positions, it's actually more so like Spirit trying to redirect you and put you on the right path. You have to be able to believe and see that though. So you can tell yourself that this is for my highest good all day long, but you have to kind of put yourself in a place to where you believe that that's true and that whatever is on the other side of it is meant to better you. Okay. Something to do with purifying yourself. Some of you could just be in a place to where you feel like something is empty or physically even empty. Okay, I bought this house, now I have an empty house. How am I going to furnish it? That kind of feeling. Okay, so follow, as far as what you need to know, that's when faith steps in. Instigation, follow instructions, faith. We have painting here, telling a story, conveying emotion, decorating and shaping. Allowing yourself to really tap into your imagination, I think, is something that's here. Some of you may actually be in the middle of making something yourself, making something your own. Have faith in yourself, or have faith that you're moving in the right direction here. Something's like telling a story of your life. Even if you're down and out and you're in a not uncomfortable position, you following your faith is telling a story about your journey. Or following, like believing in yourself. And somehow or another, for some of you, this is creatively being put into perspective. So like writing a story, creating a space for yourself, being in a new environment, your friends or community they're around. It's almost like you're shedding what was, and you're walking into this new version of yourself, or new version of things. And it's what you want it to be. You're creating it. For some of you, though, you're in different timelines here. So for some of you, you are in the process of letting go of the old, or what's not longer serving you in some way. And some of you are already in the whole other journey. Okay, hope that made sense. Some of you this is a result of you following your faith, or it will be. It's in the process of it. Okay, or you're needing to choose that. You have exploration here with creation and examination and universe and underground. So being creative is something that's really big here, guys. For some of you, this is about like your talents and being creative and really exploring that and putting that out there. Allow yourself to do that is something that's here. And evolution. Transformation here. How do you say that word? Reinvent. It's reinvent. That's what this is. Why was I struggling there? Anyway. Reinvention is what's happening here. New beginnings. This is a good reading. Okay. Bottom of the deck. Gratitude. So here's the thing. I said this is a good reading, and some of y'all, you may be looking at yourselves in the position that you're in and go, I don't feel like that I'm in a good position, but it's because of the timeline here. So I'm reading for some of y'all, and I'm re-explaining this, but it's just more profound now, so I have to. For some of y'all, like y'all are way on the other end of this evolution, and then for some of y'all, you're just starting it. So your emotions are going to feel a little different in this reading. Some of y'all are in a place to where you're really like starting to believe in yourself and what you're creating here for yourself. And then others are still processing some sort of loss or a feeling of being cleansed by something that's no longer serving you. Okay, the tarot I accidentally tumped over. You have the Sun in reverse. This is the tarot deck I'm using for y'all. It's called the Whispers of Time Tarot. The Sun in reverse, the Two of Pentacles, the King of Wands in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and the Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay, so some of y'all are in this process here of kind of trying to decide or needing to like prioritize. See, this disappointment is there again with the Two of Pentacles. Being disappointed about a situation. So there's something here that was a disappointment, or it was something that, brought you happiness at one time that you're having to let go of or release. So that's that old part of yourself that's shedding there. You're trying to follow a new path here, but you have two different ideas or different options about how you can move forward. And one side of you is telling you one thing, the other side of you is telling you something else, and you're needing to kind of figure this out. You may be afraid of judgment or afraid of, there's a lot of like criticism and stuff that's going on here that's uncomfortable. But I feel like that despite that, I still feel like that you're doing what you need to do or how you need to do this. But it does kind of rattle you a little bit. but you know, like, you're already on your path. Like, you're already, like, acknowledging how you want to follow through with something, or that you really need to do something for yourself. This gratitude I didn't even talk about. You have a lot of fire here, but Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius, of course, and then, yeah, okay. I didn't talk about gratitude because you're trying to be very strategic, or maybe too strategic here. I think you need to take a step back. I think it could be because of the criticism or the fear of that, but you need to take kind of just a second to yourself and reconnect with yourself. That's what this card's here all about. That's what you really need to know, is because I think that you're trying to be like too strategic in this, and there's just going to be some things that here that are going to be out of your control. I think this was more so about what you need to do, okay, or what you want, or how you want it. It's like somebody telling you how to paint the picture that you're painting. If you're an artist and you go to paint a picture, it's like somebody coming and telling you how you need to do it, and well, then it's not your work, is it? It's someone else's. So there's this idea of needing to, like, follow through with yourself, or just, you know, doing what you need to do for yourself, despite what everyone or everything else is saying or doing around you. Because I think for a lot of y'all, all these dandelions, all these butterflies, which are about transformation, dandelions about those dreams, like, there's so many different ways that something can go. So if you don't stay grounded here, I feel like you will feel lost here with that astronaut. Hopefully he's not. But he is just floating around up there. You don't see anything around him. So why is empty here? I have the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Set yourself free. So this is your old self that you were holding on to, that you're releasing or needing to release. Some of you may be having to. Why is the Fool here? Or Fool. Follow. The Five of Swords in the reverse. Yeah. Follow your faith, not listening to all that outside interference causing you conflict here. We have Strength in reverse, that Leo energy for painting. Sorry, I bumped the camera with my head. I try to not do that, but I notice sometimes I kind of get my big old head in there. Strength in reverse with that painting, not allowing anyone else to dictate how you're going about this journey or the situation. Recheck in with yourself. Make sure that you're following your direction or your path, or your style, your story, your journey. Don't try to decode every single thing that someone else or others are analyzing something or saying. Death in reverse. If so, there could be a fear here that you may be repeating a cycle for some of you. It's time for this change to take place. You're the only one that knows what you've learned in this process. It's okay to also explore different ideas of how to do things, or get advice or communicate with people that have experienced it in the similar ways. Because there's something to do with really learning from experience, whether that's you learning yourself through your experience of how you do things. So it's like somebody telling you how to do something, like I said, the painting, but you do it and you learn, or you do something in a different way, and it's like you really need to listen to what you feel like is going to be best. Despite even if you get some good advice, that could be useful too. You know, throw that in there, but still make sure it's yours, your direction, your advice. King of Wands came out again in the reverse with that transformation and new beginning. You need to feel more confident here in this evolution, in this transformation, this new beginning. You needing to feel more confident here in this. Otherwise, you may fall into an old pattern. Why is that Four of Pentacles in the reverse? It could be listening to others. So you have justice here, Libra energy. With that empty. Something karmically here may have went down in a way to bring in justice, fairness, balance to the situation. But it may have been something you had to let go of, or stepping outside of maybe your comfort, you were outside of your comfort zone, or it's like things that you had to let go of. Page of Wands just flew on the floor. Five of Swords in reverse. Yeah, this can be like, maybe you got curious about, well, I don't want to say that. Well, you could have, I guess. Okay, now I'm arguing with myself out loud. This may be something that you do. You may argue with yourself out loud when it comes to which direction you should move in, or what advice you should follow. How much investigation you should do about this situation here. What is it that you should go about putting action into? You know, what should you instigate here in this situation? Fighting with yourself about having faith in yourself is, I feel like, the deeper issue. Allow yourself to be curious is something that's here too. Strength. Some of you, I'm getting a side message here. There may be someone, let's take a look at that real quick. There may be someone here around you that is very strong in their ideas. Tell me about that. You have a Hermit in reverse. This could be a Virgo. Give me some more. Clarify. An Emperor. Okay, so that's definitely someone that feels like that they can give the best advice or best opinion or best direction. And even if it's about things that they necessarily haven't experienced, to be honest. This is someone that feels like kind of like a know-it-all. You have Aries energy here in Virgo. This is someone that is like, with the Hermit in reverse, this is someone that can cause you to overthink, overanalyze about something. Even if you feel like you have your mindset and this is a good direction. Okay, so you have the Magician with strength in the painting. I really feel like that you need to, this is about faith to me, and having patience with yourself, believing in yourself that you're capable of manifesting whatever it is that you want to create here. Doing it the way that you're doing it. Death in reverse, exploration. You have to allow that, not only, sometimes when we, okay, hold on, words are trying to come out too fast. Sometimes when we get in a certain place to where things around us are starting to change, the world around, our little worlds around us are starting to change. Physically, we sometimes automatically assume that we change along with it, but that's not always the case. Sometimes our emotions can stay in that past situation or self that keeps us from being able to have confidence in ourselves in the unknown, in the future. Having faith in ourselves, believing in ourselves. So you may have some self-limiting beliefs here when it comes to other people's advice, or what they think, or what they feel, or their opinions, or whatever it is around whatever it is that you want to do here, or that you're doing, that play a big role in you repeating cycles. So sometimes on the outside it looks like we can level up, but on the inside we're still limiting ourselves. Does that make sense, guys? Because that was real deep. Why is the Death here in the reverse? You have a Nine of Swords in the reverse. Yeah. That's it, allowing anxiety basically to create the world around you. And that's, well, we all do that. Don't we? I feel like, especially, I feel like it's worse and worse than it ever has been. But I mean, I've only been here for 40 years. So, but I feel like this anxiety that you feel, that whatever that was that brings this on, is it puts you in a place to where you could just end up self-sabotaging or repeating a cycle. This looks like, man, I shouldn't have listened to them. Or I really wish that I would have done that the way I wanted to. I really should have went down this road. That's what that looks like. So not wanting to repeat that is something that's here. Allowing yourself to experiment and explore and do something different, or having to step outside of your comfort zone. This may not be what you wanted. This may be something you need. So take it how it resonates. Why is that King of Wands in the reverse? You have 7 of Cups in the reverse. This reading is intense. I feel out of breath. Scorpio, Leo, Libra, Gemini, little Virgo, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius even. Could be. Doesn't have to be, but those are just some energies that are here. They're energy, okay? 7 of Cups in the reverse is, it's funny, we talked about in all these cards having all this stuff around you. The 7 of Cups is the same thing. Look, he's looking at all these cups. Oh, man. There's so many things going on in those cups. It's like looking at your future and what you want to build or grow, or what direction that you're needing to take, and looking at all these cups and going, there's a lot of ways, different ways that this could go. I could follow this way or that way, or so-and-so, or, and it gets to a place where it becomes confusing, It's like looking at those cups and being confused about which one it is that you should choose. It's also emotional. It's emotional confusion. If you were in a place, King of Wands in reverse, where you felt very confident and in control of yourself, and you believed in your own creativity or your own way of being able to pick yourself up out of a bad situation even, or to allow yourself to, it's time for me to level up, or it's time for me to grow past this. I want to be bigger. It's stuff like that. Getting out of that comfort zone, it's up to you. When this is in reverse, the 7 of Cups in reverse, it's letting that emotional confusion go of what you're capable of. And gratitude, which we still haven't talked about. Let's see what the bottom of the deck is first. The 3 of Cups in reverse. Well, that makes sense. This is kind of going together in a way. So it's funny. Sometimes we get confidence from areas in our life that we don't enjoy. Okay, so how do I explain that? Well, that's a hard one. Let's just say you had someone in your life that was a friend, but they did certain things that you don't like. And you saw how destructive that is to their life or to their whatever. And there's a part of you that feels empathy, but there's also a part of you that says, that's an example of what I don't want for myself. And we get that in relationships. We get that in situations that we see or hear in all the time. Examples of what we don't want for ourselves. And I think that there's gratitude here in this situation, because what you don't want for yourself is to repeat perhaps something that you've already repeated in the past, and you want to do things your way. So don't listen. This is like, I have an opportunity to pick myself up or to move up in a way where I'm not listening to the person I listened to in the past. This time I'm doing it my way. I'm listening to myself. And this is where you need to get confidence in that. You really need to build up your confidence in that. And these readings overall have really centered around really faith in yourself. Let's get some advice. I feel like y'all wore me out in this reading. This energy is like, look, information, experience. Being thankful for the experience because you've learned from the experience. And now, I don't know, for some reason I feel like you are going to find, like, once you start to connect or ground yourself in what you want, it's going to flow so quickly and so easily. It's going to become easy to you, if that makes sense. You'll find your flow very, very quickly, I feel like, where you feel back in control. Okay. What advice? Whew. Early stages. Yeah, you're still in the early stages of something. So give yourself some grace. That's something that's here on this as you create this new environment, new situation, new thing for yourself. Give yourself some grace. You're still in the early stages of growth, but the long-term outlook is strong if you keep nurturing and engaging your talents. So for some of you, this has something to do with really listening to yourself when it comes to your creativity. Sometimes we can be creative in our talents and skills, and it's not going to connect with everyone, right? Just like doing tarot readings here, y'all have certain readers that you follow and listen to that you connect with, and you might not always in a tarot reading, but you connect with that person, you see them, you understand them, you get each other, you get how they present things. Just like artwork, some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. It's that kind of feeling. And I think that for whatever reason, you've allowed others or something like that with that Three of Cups in reverse, or gossip, or whatever the case, been afraid of that even. But you've experienced something that has kept you from being able to show and be or live in the way that's freer to be who you are or yourself. Even if this has to do with the situation that, again, is out of your control in some kind of way, that you didn't ask for in some way. And, Spirit's kind of cleansing you from something. Even if it's that, this is you needing to do what you need to do for yourself, despite what everyone else's opinion or thinking or whatever, from your experience. And give yourself some grace, because this is something that you've maybe never done before for some of you, but this is something that you're learning through this, and just show yourself some grace as you build your story. I really feel like, guys, in the future, y'all have some really long-term solid things that are coming for you, but you have to, whatever you're building, you have to believe in yourself and have courage and confidence here. And forgive yourself. Give yourself a break for, struggling or listening to someone else or something like that. Just give yourself some grace. Okay. What question do you have for pile 3? They need to be asking themselves. You'll have several. Well, you have 2. Okay. First question is, what does happiness mean to me? So that one right there goes to show me that this reading about, like, what is it that's important to you? Not just happiness, but what is important to you? What needs do you have? I don't know why this is coming to mind, but for some reason it is. Have you ever moved? Which I haven't even moved that much in my life, but have you ever moved, and as you move, you learn better and better how to move? And like those, sometimes if you have a moving truck that's coming, you'll just take a box or 2 of essentials that you might need to where you're going. If you live with someone else and that person was to pack for you, you can end up with essentials that you didn't need and that you needed other things, because you both have different ideas of what that is. There's something to do with battling that and realizing that you need to basically pack your own box and listen to what your essential needs are. That's really important here. in order for you to really see the long-term significant abundance that you could experience here with this, you hold the key to it, okay? No, not anybody else. If this was my last day, would I be satisfied with my life? What would I have done differently? So see, this is about not repeating something for some of you. Okay. What advice do you have for pile 3 to leave with? Trust the guidance that you're receiving? Well, good. Spirit's got my back if that's this reading, right? It's number 35. It says, Archangel Uriel has blessed you with a brilliant epiphany. I'm also present to clear away your worries so that you can trust the divine guidance. That's funny because the 9 of Swords in reverse is kind of that, clearing away, and the Death would be the one to clear it. So, but you have to explore that first, right? Or get the information here. Okay. Learn. Listen. Is that it? I think that's it. Let's get some. I was thinking I was going to get another advice card, but I guess I got them all. Let's get some charms and initials. God, I hope this made sense. Sometimes when I start to channel and it comes out really fast like that, I feel like trying to get all the information that's popping in, and I get kind of lost in it, and then I'm like, am I even making sense here? So you have the stepping outside of your comfort zone. You see the astronaut here twice. Stepping outside of your comfort zone is something that's really here. Whatever this is, you're going to find yourself quickly outside of your comfort zone. But I feel like that's where the magic happens. So keep that in mind. Something quick happening fast too. So you have the happy feet here, which is, some of these came out in the other pile, but anyway. Yeah, happiness. What does happiness mean to me? So which direction are you headed in, and what's going to make you, the most fulfilled, or feel like you've done your best in a situation, or you're doing things the way that you want? You have the lemon there, so that always reminds me of bittersweet. I don't know why, it just does. It's like bitter. So I feel like this is only somebody's story, okay? This is what I feel. I feel like maybe you got some bad advice in your past, and maybe that same person, maybe not, is like trying that again. And I know I mentioned that in your reading. It's coming through again here with that bitterness. Something may have left a bitter taste in your mouth is what I want to say. And there's an opportunity to wash that out by not repeating that again, but doing things your way. Basically is this whole reading, right? It says it's okay to make mistakes. We have ELHYHB C M or W. We have a K, a V, an A, an E, another M or W, and an H. 3 H's here. Okay, guys. Whew, man, I'm going to have to go take me a break after y'all's reading. This was a lot. I'm supposed to be cleaning my house, guys. Okay. But thank y'all so much for being here. I hope this helps. I really do. Good luck to you guys with this, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. Hey, pile 4. So if you chose number 26, which can reduce down to 4, by the way, it's insight here. Okay. So 6 is a number of balance, choices. I mean, well, yeah, 2 is a number of balance and choices, but 6 can be about equal give and take. It can be about balance itself as well. 4 would be about foundation. So Yeah. In this card, you see him collecting, I think these are pebbles. I'm not sure what these are. Are they seeds? Anyway, you see him collecting, and there's a shrimp here as well. So with insight, this may have to do with something that you're needing to save. Getting insight here on something that maybe perhaps you're needing to save or you're needing to secure in some kind of way. What you need to know. Okay, we're going to read the small portion of the book. Sorry guys, I had to pause for a second because I had a message, and that might be important. Some of y'all, you may be needing to see a message, or you may be getting a message, okay? So, or send one, I guess. Crows and ravens are problem solvers. Crows make tools and learn from each. Action. In this illustration, you see that the crow is dropping rocks into the water. After testing a couple of rocks, the crow begin to understand the relationship between the stones and the water. It learned that with each rock, the water would rise. And the result, the boat shrimp would rise too. Insight asks that you take the time to examine your situation. Test out different strategies to gain wisdom. When you understand the relationship between all contributing factors, you'll be able to identify actions that yield little benefit or remove any obstacle that may have been in the way, and in turn, apply strategies that expedite success. Okay. All right, so this is about, I feel like this has to do with you learning as far as more about the situation, like taking your time to learn how to approach a situation or learn, like there's an energy of adapting here, adapting to something, getting insight as you go, learning someone or something so that you can do what needs to be done or you have the best strategy. Taking your time to learn in order to have the best strategy and to get ultimately what it is that you're wanting out of a situation. Okay. These are the answer oracles that we're going to use to start. Okay. What does pile 4 need to know? Ring. This is about you committing to something. What does pile 4 need to know? You have guard, that came out in the same spot in one of the other piles. Defend, protect, guarantee. This says wedding, token, and bond. Before you guarantee a commitment. There's a need to learn before you can guarantee some kind of commitment here. Eternity. Immortality, frozen. Fusion. Infinity and curse. We have align, openness, harmonize, and collaboration here. Let's get one more. We have chaos and memories. You have timing at the bottom. Timing is important here. There's a deadline here of sorts. You may feel that approaching. For some of you, this could be somebody else, somebody close to you, around you, someone even that's coming towards you, okay? So take this story how it resonates. I'm going to refer to it in first person, though. There's a tower moment that's here. Instability, unrest, unpredictability, and corruption. But then you have this. Old acquaintances, almost said ancestors. Old debts. Collections. I don't know why I couldn't say that either. And prejudice with memories. And the fridge. Fridge always reminds me of being comfortable. Being comfortable. Oh boy. Some kind of tower moment here has happened. It's what you need to know. When it comes to someone's comfortability, someone's not stable, or someone is not in a good place here. I was going to talk about our refrigerator. I was thinking about food and how comfortable we all get with the fact that we can actually keep our food cold. You know, not everybody gets that luxury. That is a luxury, right? I mean, of course you have to. Sometimes if you don't, you know, the food will go bad. But some of the food, it would never go bad if we didn't freeze it, or if we didn't put it in the refrigerator, you know. So, I don't know, there's something to do with that, and that being a luxury, or being comfortable with that, you know, being comfortable, and what that really entails. Where there's this lesson or tower moment that's taking place around this. The time that's on here, because time is important, there's a clock on here. And I think that it says 1 o'clock. So that could be important here for somebody. As I'm giving you this reading, it's 12:30, so that's pretty freaking close. By the time I get done, I'm sure it will be. Okay, so let's go back to this, because I feel like somehow or another this may be somewhat separate. There may be some kind of memories that are creating this unrestful feeling here for someone. Insight, needing to learn or gain insight. So there's a commitment that's here on the table. And there's this wanting to defend this commitment or protect this bond even. There's this idea of something lasting a long time. So wanting to protect something that you feel like will last a long time and make peace here with this fusion energy. Hoping that there's collaboration that takes place with this. This has to do with learning, someone learning a significant lesson when it comes to commitment and protecting what's important. Your reading is so channeled, like. The last pile was too. I don't know where it came from. Just, if it feels different. That fusion also, it talks about openness, and I think that that's the key here. Someone may feel like they're running out of time though. Yeah, they're trying to gather their courage here. They feel like they're running out of time. Okay, that just wanted to come out. Yeah, they're overthinking here. Page of Wands. This is a message. Someone is wanting to send you a message. I'm telling you 100%. This might have to do with the past here with memories and some kind of instability or chaotic energy around that. This is somewhat unpredictable, this person. This feels like someone that's like waited to the very last second, or has been trying to like muster the courage, but they know time is like running out. But they've been just overthinking what to say or how to approach the situation. Some of y'all, this may actually be an engagement. Not for everybody, okay? I mean, obviously you know that, right? Because I can't read it like that. But I feel like for some of you, there's some sort of a energy behind it of someone wanting to protect the situation, wanting to protect the bond, wanting to protect the connection by doing this. Oh, real quick. This is the Crow Tarot, which goes along with these cards. The Urban Crow oracles. So y'all are the only ones that get this, by the way. So you should feel special. You're the only ones that get the Crow Tarot. Okay, so wise ring here. What does this have to do with? That's the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. This could be like taking a break, though. So I need to get the rest of the cards out. Guard. That's the Ten of Pentacles. eternity. So Queen of Wands. Y'all may find this out about someone else, but I feel like this is someone around you, though. Okay. Somebody's trying to protect their investment here with you. And they could do that by a commitment of some kind. This is someone that feels like they want you to have courage, and they also want to have courage that this is something that's going to last for a long time. So this is like somebody making a commitment to you because they want you to have faith in, or they just want to protect the connection here with you. So they're going, I think, outside of their comfort zone in a way with this Eight of Pentacles in reverse, but I need to get a clarifier for it in order to make you feel this way, or in order to do this. Yeah, you have the Five of Wands in the reverse. I don't know what that commitment entails, guys, okay? Some of you, this may be some kind of an engagement. Some of you, this is just like a commitment to you. And I think it pertains to no longer maybe not contributing or not putting in the work, like a commitment to like basically kind of stop being lazy or being better at something, you know. But again, clarifier is important. The Five of Wands in the reverse here with this is somebody that wants to make peace, but they're going to like far lengths to try to do that. Why is the chaos and memories here? Yeah, this is the Three of Swords in reverse. Someone wanting forgiveness. Someone wanting to reconcile or forgiveness. It's chaos and memories, you know. This is somebody I feel like that's wanting you to forget about the past, or wanting to make up for the past, or they're trying to like put a band-aid over a tower. I might get some message cards here from this person. Why is that Eight of Pentacles here in reverse? Yeah. It's the Nine of Wands. This is somebody that I feel like is trying to protect. This is something that's very difficult for this person. This is way outside of their comfort here. But they're trying to protect or fight for something here. Hold on a second, guys. So sorry, guys. I kept hearing a noise and it was freaking me out. It was just my son. So we're good. Okay, what about the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse with the guard? Trying to guarantee or protect. What is this? That's the Eight of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, to me, I don't know why I've never gotten this with the Eight of Wands, but it's different sometimes because I'm an intuitive reader. So I don't just read, like, the reversals to me are just adding to the situation. I can read it either way. I could flip all these around, still read you the same reading. I'm reading the energy. This I say that in that way, by the way, because, yeah, I've gotten a lot of comments about reversals. Somebody told me one time they were disrespectful to the card, and I'm like, you have not done your history. You need to go back and look at that again. That's a thing. Anyway, sorry, I get a little defensive. I think this is like somebody, I started feeling this way all of a sudden. Almost kind of like a trigger in a way. With that. Sometimes this can be like frustration, but what I got is someone kind of saying or doing anything that they can to protect or defend, you know? Like, this is like somebody that would guarantee, like the world here with the Ten of Pentacles, guarantee everything, but they may not be able to deliver everything. This could be somebody just saying they'll do whatever they have to do. Like, I feel like I dated this guy one time, and it wasn't going to work. And so I walked away from it, and he and I've been through this before, but he kind of said he would do whatever he had to do. And even if it went to these extremes, and I'm like, now, like, you're just telling me things. Like, that's not doing anything. I know that you're not going to follow through with that. You know, you're not going to up and move your whole family just to come be here with me or whatever, you know. And it's also ridiculous, you know, to make that kind of decision based off of a fear or a loss, you know, in whatever way. It's just extreme. There's an extremeness to this. It's like a desperation, you know. Someone trying to desperately protect what they feel like is valuable to them in some way. This could be family. Well, tell me about Queen of Wands. Judgment. I feel like that if you're this Queen of Wands here, then you're the one that's needing to make a judgment call about this. Because this is something that's going to be something that's eternal in some way, or something that's long lasting. Whatever decision here you make, it could have long lasting effects. You know, it could affect your life in a big way for a long time. It's a big decision that's here. But even in this card, you see the cross over there and everything, and it's, I don't know, it just reminds me of like first aid. Like, it feels like it's coming from a need. Like you want somebody to be with you because they want you, not because they need you. That kind of feeling. Tell me about fusion with the Five of Wands in the reverse. That's the Moon in reverse. This is making amends for secrets or things being hidden or in the dark or kept hidden that were exposed in some kind of way. Somebody wanting to make peace or open up or collaborate about that. Yeah, you have the Two of Cups. I think this is going to be really difficult. I also feel like even if this person's coming up with the courage to come towards you, it's taken just as much for you to come up with the courage to decide what's best for you here. Also, you have Scorpio and Pisces, Cancer, Sagittarius for me. This is somebody that kind of wants you to trust them again. This is like doing whatever you have to. I'll do whatever I have to do to get you to trust me again. What do you want me to do? You want to get married? We can get married. You want to get married? You know, it's that kind of feeling. What do you want me to do? It's just like that guy I told you about. Like, you want me to move there with you? And I'm like, who wants to be where I'm at? You know? Let's get real here. You're not going to be happy here. And then in a couple of months or years down the line, you're going to end up resenting me. And I didn't make you do it in the first place. You said you would do it because you're, you know, this is like a conversation that you're having here with somebody, and you're trying to like make them be sensible. They're just trying to get you to trust them or commit to them in some way or be at peace. They really want you to trust them. They really do. That's the most important thing here. Why is the Two of Swords in the reverse? Some of you, there's a lot that's hidden within the dynamic in this relationship between the two of you, especially emotionally. This person may have not really ever like emotionally fully opened up to you in some way, or not like the way you wanted or needed. That could be something that comes up here. Sorry, that was a big breath, wasn't it? That's the Four of Cups and underneath the Three of Swords in reverse. This is like forgiveness for complacency. Forgiveness for not seeing something when you have it. That's what this is. Forgiveness for the past mistakes. You know, it's funny too, because in this Four of Cups, normally the person sitting against the tree has their head down looking at the Three Cups in the past, which is this energy here to me. But in this one, the crow is looking at the cup that Spirit's offering. This is someone that wants to offer like forgiveness or whatever was caused some instability in some kind of way. What's going to happen? I want to say you have free will here, especially judgment and down the middle there. But let's just see what the cards say. What's going to happen here? What's a possibility of future energies here with this? You have a Five of... That's why I need to look at this. Otherwise, I'd just stop the reading. I almost went into a disagreement here, you know, back and forth, like I was having a conversation with somebody. That Five of Swords is here. So that is a disagreement, going back and forth, conflict. What's going to happen here? There may be some sort of disagreement that takes place. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. This could have to do with, well, hold on. Taurus is there. Yeah, Eight of Swords. Seven of Swords in the reverse. There's a feeling here of feeling betrayed and feeling very hurt and almost blindsided. For some of you, this is not someone that's coming towards you. For some of you, this is a message that you're receiving about someone else, and it has to do with what you've been curious or wondering about with this insight here too. This could be somebody that is in a relationship or a commitment that you are discovering, or it's coming out into the open, where you're needing to make peace with it. And this could be about moving on. But for others of you, this is someone that is trying to do whatever they have to do or say to make amends here. And there's a conflict that's going to happen because I feel like you feel maybe blindsided and betrayed. I think some kind of truth was exposed. And I think you're in an energy of like where you're not giving. You're kind of more protecting yourself here. And what's important to you? Tell me about that Five of Swords. Yeah, the Page of Cups. It doesn't start this way. It starts sincere, or it starts genuine. You know, why is that Queen of Pentacles in the reverse? The Knight of Swords. It quickly changes. It changes when this feels repetitive. One of the other piles had a message like this. It may have been the other side of the story. I don't know. The Knight of Swords with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. This is about protecting yourself. This is about taking action to protect yourself or your energy. It can also be that you've been very hurt here with that Queen of Pentacles being in reverse. Why's the Eight of Swords? You have a Knight of Wands in the reverse. You get trapped in your head here this may be something you're expressing, but you're in your head here, because this person is, the way that they act or respond, or the way they have, it's very confusing. Their energy's a bit all over the place with that Knight of Wands being in reverse. This feels like a feeling of someone, like I said before, saying you're doing whatever, you know, it's putting you in your head. You get kind of in your head here. Or whatever information that you receive here, it puts you in your head. Seven of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Whatever information that you get here, it's I don't feel like it's, or how this person is responding, it's not what you want. And it really keeps you trapped, and I think that that's kind of the point here for some of you. This is about, you know, either not taking an opportunity because the Seven of Swords is here, so there was some kind of deception or something here, or seeing the reality of a situation that you'll never have another opportunity here. So I don't know which one you fit with now with that storyline, but what happens is it starts off like a genuine conversation or message, but it quickly like scales to the conflict. And when that occurs, there's someone here, Queen of Pentacles, it's very protective of her energy, very guarded. And then there's this reactive energy that's here with this Knight of Swords that kind of says or does, kind of takes action here, knowing that the Queen of Pentacles is in this guarded energy. And then I feel like it puts you in your head. This person's reaction or energy just puts you in your head. Response puts you in your head. But the deception is here. So regardless of anything else, whatever you need to know is you're getting insight about it. It's being shown to you. And because of that, there's a lack of commitment or taking the opportunity. So somebody's like wanting to offer you some kind of commitment or wanting to protect the relationship or something to that nature. I don't think that you're taking it, or someone's not taking it. The other storyline is you may get some information about someone that is having a new beginning somewhere else. And that might be something that's hard to hear or hard to accept, but I do feel like you do accept it. And that's when like forgiveness or a period of closure begins. And I think that you may go back and forth in your head about that situation, but ultimately I feel like you understand that it just wasn't aligned with you. Like it wasn't where you needed to be. So there's two different types of storylines of what's playing out here, right? Yeah, the Ten of Swords is at the bottom, guys. Can't make that up. Let's see what this person would say. Ten of Swords and the Two of, yeah, there's a decision. There's the Four of Wands. That can be like marriage, commitment, coming together, reunion. And that Two of Pentacles is making a decision, and the Ten of Swords is an ending. So making a decision to end something. Or a choice being made that ends something. What you need to know. What would this person in this reading say to pile 4? That came out right fast, didn't it? I know more than you think. Okay. What would this person say to pile 4? I understand you better now. Someone feels like that they figured someone else out. I'm grateful for this spiritual lesson and that they've learned some significant lesson here. Holy cow. I can't reach out. Sorry, y'all, I'm picky with the cards. I trusted you. Yeah. Someone betrayed someone here. I'm afraid to contact you. Yeah. Hold on. Just being near you is intoxicating. Someone's may have distanced themselves. They learn a lesson here. They have to keep themselves separated or distant. Otherwise, they'll be pulled back in because the energy is intoxicating. So this can be like a very magnetic attraction that you have with someone, right? I can still see you standing there. You were the best thing in my life. I wonder if you're happy without me. Healing. Old wounds and childhood issues need revisiting. Yeah, somebody may be going on a healing cycle. I feel like either way you are. Yes, it's too late. This is this here. I think somebody waited too long to reconcile, or waited too long to come in and offer something, you know? That's what I really feel here. Or someone's already like moved into a different direction, and then there's this final understanding that this is the ending of something, right? Closure here. I'll watch your social media is at the bottom, so this could be somebody that still keeps an eye on you or keeps up with you. Okay, let's get some advice. These readings have been wearing me out today. It's because okay, so I've been blocked, guys. I've been blocked. Spiritual, my intuition or my channeling is just, I tried to start this reading so many times. I wanted to do a what's coming towards you reading, and I couldn't. I just couldn't. I couldn't read. I was blocked energetically. And usually for me that means I need to take a break, or there's something that I'm going through that I need to allow myself to go through, or I need to become, I need to ground myself a little better. So I had to take a break, and I had to do all those things. Y'all may have not noticed, but I always try to stay ahead, and I was ahead, so hopefully this didn't put me behind. But when I come back to it, it's just like, it comes, when I finally like get unblocked, it's like it comes out so fast. That might mean something for some of y'all. Y'all may have been like, have some kind of a blockage, maybe emotionally blocked, or maybe even physically blocked, but after that's like down or gone, it's like everything comes out really fast. So especially if this is some kind of disagreement or argument where you've gone silent for a long time, you know what I mean? Keep exploring, number 12. Level up your expectations and don't settle for what you already know. See how you can improve your life. I think that goes for both of you here. Sit this out, number 76. Something is not quite right. Wait a little longer before taking action. Timing is off, or it could be the wrong decision. So for some of you, and I can't tell y'all what to do in these readings. Y'all have free will. You're going to choose what you need to choose for yourself in order to learn what you need to learn for yourself. And some of y'all may keep exploring this relationship, this connection. You may take that opportunity. I feel like the majority of y'all won't, but some of y'all will. I think it depends on how you're going to feel when this interaction actually happens. Anyway, I just realized that this, okay, never mind. Keep going. Some of y'all are going to sit this out. Some of y'all are going to, you feel like the timing is it's already too late. Whatever the circumstances, it's not for you. This is not the right decision for you. Whatever the case here, you may sit this out. I think that's why we're seeing these two cards. Some of y'all going back into this, trying this again, and some of y'all sit this out. And I think it really just depends on the other person and how they're approaching the situation. Third party energies here, so that could be part of this Three of Swords. Some of y'all, there was some kind of third party or outside interference that caused this in some way. Someone you're not aware of will affect the outcome. Everything will unfold for the greatest good of all. For some of y'all, there's someone else here that may be going into a different commitment, and you're having to use, that has to be your closure in the situation, that nothing's going to come back around. And that in itself is telling you to keep exploring, sit this one out. There's a reason that this isn't coming together the way that you wanted or anticipated for it to. And there may be a higher purpose to do with that. because everything will unfold for the greatest good of all involved, and healthy changes. So there's something to do with like needing to make the healthiest decision for yourself here. Okay, let's get one of these, and then we'll get a question card, and we'll get some initials to close. So what do you have for pile 4 for advice? Open your heart, number 22. Third party is also number 22 here as well. No one is perfect. Stop judging yourself and others and let love heal the situation. So for some of you, I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all that that's what Spirit's telling you. That's not it. Okay. So those of you that maybe needed that, that's your message. But for others of you that are going, no, there's a different take on this. I'm going to explain. And that's why I feel like number 22 here is important. Because what they're pointing out with this third-party energy, with opening your heart, is understanding when something's right for you and meant for you and when it's not, and when it's meant for you for a season and when it's not meant for you for forever. With that eternity that's here, knowing the difference, and kind of like forgiving the situation or the circumstances for what they were and how they came together, and forgiving yourself even, and just moving forward. No one is perfect. Stop judging yourself. This has to do with you too, and others, and just let love heal the situation. Sometimes we just have to have love for the other person, knowing that they may be the best decisions they could with what information and what knowledge that they had at the time, and just move on, even if someone hurt you really bad, you have to be able to well, I guess you don't have to, but the best is to be able to say, they don't know what they're doing, and that happens sometimes. And, sometimes way later in life, I've had this happen to me. I just remembered, I've forgotten about it. I had someone, years later, like 20 years later, pop up in my inbox and apologize to me for something they did to me forever ago. And I'm like, wow, that's a long time to wait for an apology. Of course, I didn't wait, I just had to, reconcile that within myself and just say, hey, it's hopefully all I can pray for you is that one day you'll figure out the truth, and hopefully you become a better person because of it, even if that's the way that you end a situation. It's for you. Forgiveness is always for you. If you're asking for forgiveness for someone else, let's just say, man, I really wish that they would just forgive me. Why? Because by them saying, I forgive you, it will release you of any of those feelings of guilt or shame or whatever the case. That's really what you want, really what you're looking for. Sometimes we just need to look at ourselves and say, you know what, I just forgive myself. I'm sorry if that person doesn't understand, but I know I was in that position. I had to make those choices the best I could, and that's what I came up with, and it may have been bad, but I feel bad, and move on. Forgiveness is never for, if you're asking for it, it's never for the other person. It's for you. It's for you. I hope that made sense, because I feel like I stretched it on too long, and then I kind of got lost in it. So with that being said, before I get too far gone, let's do the empowering questions here. Forgiveness is about letting the other person off the hook. That's the quote that I was thinking in my head, that I was trying to say that, but it just wasn't coming out right. But I think the other way fits too, though, right? I don't know. I'll have to figure that out when I do my editing. And be like, that made no sense at all. What did I say? Okay, so y'all have two cards here. One is, What kind of advice on life would my old self give to my current self? I also just tasted a green apple whenever I was, maybe that green here, but for some reason I tasted a green apple. Anyway, what kind of advice on life would I give my old self? Would my old self give to my current self? Yeah. I feel like you need to forgive yourself and kind of give yourself some grace and patience for sure. What are my most important values? How are they reflected in my life, in my daily decisions? So if you're going to say something, do something, right? I tell myself that every day. If, you know, when I get up or when I go back to the house, you're going to walk. You're going to go outside and you're going to walk. And I really enjoy it, and I'm thankful that I do it, but I have to always remind myself to do that. If I'm going to say it, if it's important to me and it's something that I want to continue, then I need to stick to that, you know. Sometimes it's not about having, if you lose faith or inspiration, know that routine is where you fall back on. So just put it on your calendar and make it a must. You know what I mean? Routine gets you places. I don't know why I want to say that. I'm saying some random weird stuff, guys. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe, I guess y'all needed to hear that, or somebody did. Okay. Halloween could be important. October could be important. Yeah. For some reason this reminds me of like making a fool of yourself, or being afraid of making a fool of yourself. I can say whatever happens here, it's something that's meant to unfold, because there are things with insight that you're oblivious to, or that you're needing to like understand or see, that you don't have that information to in some kind of way that I think will help you in the healing process. So this is important, you know. It's okay to make mistakes. Stress less and smile more. And the lime could be important to somebody, but it's like bittersweet or sour, something being a little bit sour. Still, you know, still a little bit touchy or still a little bit triggery. X, V, Y, I, N, M, W, C, and a G. All right, guys. Ivy. It's right there. Never mind. All right, guys. So thanks so much for being here. Definitely hope this helps. Hope it resonated. Hope y'all understood it. But thank you so much for being here. Thanks for all your love and support and kindness, of course. Hope this helps, and good luck. Bye.